All right. Looks like we're online or live once again. And I am testing out this vertical format. So give me some grace today as I figure out exactly how to shape it. So this today's quick lunch and learn is going to be a really quick overview of how I try to stay ahead of the curve and find really good books to read. So if that is something, if you are an avid reader and always try to have a good stack in your to be read list, I think you'll find today's lesson useful. Let me go ahead and share. I'm going to start by sharing three books that I'm looking forward to that are coming out in the next 3 months. Um, and I haven't seen these advertised a ton online. If you're already an avid fan of the author, you probably have already heard about the book being published. But so I want to show you what those books are and then how I found those books. So let me go ahead and switch the screen. Cool. All right, so what you're seeing here is the first book, The Algebra of Wealth. So this is a book coming out in April by Scott Galloway, kind of a contradictory figure. But this is, I read almost anything by Portfolio Books. Looking forward to this one. And you can see it's coming out in about 3 months from now. Another one is Slow Productivity by Cal Newport. Very excited for this one. The whole vibe that Cal has been giving for the last year or two about his slow movement material. I think this is going to be one of those books that like people have a before and after for, I think. And then last is Learned Excellence, Mental Discipline for leading and winning from the world's top performers. So again, really excited for this one. As you can see, this one's coming out in February. I think Cal's is coming out in March. So all these books are kind of, down the road, coming down the pipeline. And the number one tool I use to find those is this website. It's Publishers Weekly. It's called the On Sale Calendar. It's been, publishing for decades at this point. And all they do is, they basically round up Publishers Weekly staff. So the staff that actually works at that magazine rounds up from all the different publishers what's going to be published. And what's really cool is that a lot of the books, let me open one up. So I think this is February. Yeah, so this is next month. So the books are organized by popularity and popularity in terms of how many copies have been pre-ordered for the sale. So I know it's probably small on that screen. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so it's a little clearer. That looks a little clearer. Okay, so what you'll see is the title of the book, the author, who the publisher is, so Berkeley in this case, what is the cover cost, so if it's paper or hardback, it'll usually say, and then how many copies have been pre-ordered. So, big books are usually in the 200,000 plus range. I think, maybe a dozen times a year you'll see a book that has a pre-order over 1 million, and that's usually, the fiction names that you know really well. And so what I do, like, if you have a favorite author, that's usually my first search. So like I read everything by Ryan Holiday, so I'll look for his name. Next is I'll look for Portfolio Books, which is one of my favorite publishers. So you can see that in February they have one coming out, $30. If it doesn't say like paperback or whatever, that's usually the hardcover price. And so you just scan through, and there are literally hundreds of books being published every single month. And so these are all books by big name publishers. So, top five houses, things like that. And so there are obviously books that are published that aren't on this list. But if you are an avid reader and you're trying to stay up on your space and kind of be ahead of the curve, this is one really great way to do it. I have used this, to try to get pre-orders, or, for authors who are doing a first time launch or so on. Like if you can say, if they haven't done much marketing and you come here, you find that they're releasing a book 3-4 months before it's really being public, and you ask them, hey, can I have a copy so I can review it? I'd say like 50% of the time that's going to work out in your favor. So this is also a great tool to get free books if that is your jam. So that's a quick hack that I wanted to show you for finding books before they publish. this live is going to be a little shorter today because that was the only thing I wanted to talk about. We've got to get back to the schedule. But I hope it was somewhat helpful and that this vertical format was interesting in how it is. I actually like this a little better than the normal format. So I will probably try that again tomorrow. So thank you again for watching. I hope this little clip was useful, and I'll see you later.